it's also one of the solutions other than the Diggy and the Kaja, but in a more offensive manner. Because I think Orange Esports with that last two picks, Roger and Xbox, they want to run at you. But we do have a taunt video from both teams, so take a look.
Okay, kepada tim Orange Sport, kali ini kita orang akan tibai korang ada di sana. Kalau boleh playoff pun tak boleh masuk.
Untuk Aziz, kalau kita orang ni tak layak masuk playoff, korang pula sebenarnya tak layak dapat invited sebab korang tak mula daripada bawah.
Oh my god. Yo, I remember commenting last year about, Malaysians need to up their flame game. Yo, they brought their trash talk. They're like, yo, now this is personal.
Yeah, things just got real.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you in real life. Like that's the vibes I'm getting, man. I'm down for this game now. Let's see how Axis Esports goes up against Orange Esports Reborn.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
Hopefully exciting.
Smash them.
Best 2 out of 3.
Yep, game
All troops
was about to
deployed.
begin. And of course, both teams, their taunts are on a completely different spectrum, right? Axis Esports is basically saying, we're not going to let you go into playoffs, and Orange Esports is saying, we're gonna make you realize that you don't even deserve to be invited. Or they talk the big talk. Let's see if they can walk the walk, because Kaiser almost dies.
Yep, double flame shot already being used here. They maintain control. They want to give the buff over to, I can't see who that is, Roger, yeah. With the help of Export, they're going to try and contest it here. I don't think they can. They take the opposite. Ooh, nearly lost it to the flame shot, to the River Sentinel. And now the question does become like, both sides are completely losing out on EXP in both of the side lanes.
Yeah, and it's just one of those games that you can kind of see it becoming a very bloodbath style. We'll see if Orange can bring that to the table, and as I say that, Ma will grab that first blood and Hayabusa will pick up Long as well on the Hellcut.
Yep, once again, it's just, this is going to be a super tough game, and like, again, flame shots are being used off cooldown. It's like, oh, I want to steal that, oh, I want to deal damage, ooh, I want to face check. Like, they'll use it unconditionally to get out of any bad situation. And now Lasset is kind of stuck on the top side. They're going to go for a big dive!
Yeah, Lasset is not going to get out of this for sure, taking too much damage. Maybe using the OJ Shadow Kill. Aaron hitting level 4 pretty quickly, just 1.5 minutes in, and Orange Esports in a commanding position so far. But Flame Shot, a spell that is just, I feel like it's a bit too generous to players, being on such a low cooldown and with scaling damage as well. But seems like they're going to find more. Roger picking up Evos for the second time.
This is becoming more and more difficult. Oh no, Silo is now in trouble. Export, one more hit, he goes down, unfortunately. Probably shouldn't have died there, but he was able to try and trade it off. Just a wee bit, Unfortunately, I think Orange Esports is in a position where they have to just keep rotating. They can't have to keep switching out members, maximize EXP, flame shot being used up, but Kaiser X is gonna walk away. And yeah, you have to keep rotating, keep looking for ways to gain EXP leads, because that dive wouldn't have been possible if Export was there tanking the damage. They need the security of the high boost.
Yeah, and Orange Esports, they're not going to stop. Flame Shot again, use, hitting onto Aaron, but if you cannot convert that into anything, it's not good at all for Axis Esports. And Orange Esports, they're rotating 4 members again. This dive is going to happen.
Yeah, but this time it's a little bit difficult. It's now Lasset is level 4, and that's a very powerful ultimate. He needs to use it soon. Lasset's in trouble. He wets it initially, but Jaku is still cutting him down. Look at how much damage his ult is pulling off Hellcat. Trying to turn this around. Jaku might be the next one to go down low. Needs to turn this quick. Doesn't get the stingers off. 2 kills going over to Orange Esports.
That is just unfortunate. He had 5 stingers charged up, and he whiffed it. That was the X factor. Dark Knight Rises was used. Orange Esports, they were completely blind in that fight, and somehow Axis still botched it. Not a great start for them, and Orange Esports, they are going to punish Axis dearly for that.
Don't worry, this is the traditional Axis thing. This is what they do. They gotta rub off the rust, and then when it's like, okay, we go to playoffs, it's stage time, they'll immediately just turn on a switch and become like instantly better players. But yeah, I do think that that whiff was really, really crucial for the team, because he had a good lineup there. He had the priority target, and he just wasn't able to land it. Unfortunately, he's going to get punished, but I don't think they're out of the game just yet.
Yeah, but at the same time, Orange Esports, big lead, 7 kills to 1. They already took down 1 tower, and I don't think it is as bad as what happened to Todak on the hands of EVOS, but at the same time, it's like it could have been slightly better. I think Axis, they are still, like you said, rubbing off the rust. There are some plays that, especially that Hellcut, It should have been a kill. That was point blank.
Should have been.
Should've been.
But like again, didn't get it off. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
But I do believe in the Aurora pick because Orange, we've seen it pretty obvious from the draft and from how they play in the first 3 minutes. They just want to dive you, run at you, run at you, run at you. They're doing Sicilian and Carmilla, so that's the name of the game. You have Roger, Xbox, Hayabusa. They want to get in your face, and Aurora kind of slows that down in an offensive way because she just freezes a big area, right? So if you jump in and you get caught by the Aurora passive, then Axis can turn it around.
Yeah, and I think that's very in sync with the character of Axis. Coming back into this game, let's see what the state is as of right now. It looks like Orange Esports bit of a lead. It's not like super substantial, but it's enough to pose a threat to Axis Esports, who basically can't get on this objective. The turtle is probably going to go on the Orange with no contestation.
Yeah, and giving Roger this much space early on it'd be a big price to pay for Axis if they don't find a solution quickly. And at least for this game, Jawhead not able to do too much, but there we go, Shadow Kill on to that Aurora. Aurora be taken down, Long trying to get away as well, and this duo is just too dangerous for Axis to handle.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. It's just 1v3. Like, if that isn't a problem, I don't know what to say, but they have to pull back. They have to pull back now. It looks like they're gonna actually lose their first turret to just not watching the map a little bit, and Evolex gets there just a little too late. If he was there earlier, he might have been able to save that turret, but unfortunately, Roger will pick that up, and now they're setting up for a bottom dive to capitalize on the Kaiser X by himself. He's in trouble. Smart missiles are pulled out, and he will get out scot-free. Going to most likely lose this bottom tier 1. Orange Esports great.
Yeah, and if you leave the Jawhead, if you force the Jawhead to be alone and not run around the map to create an impact, that is where your potential as a Jawhead completely just gets nullified. And Orange Esports, they're doing a good job. They're splitting up the map and they're making sure that Kaiser is always intact. Every time, if they manage to have line of sight of Kaiser 24/7, they don't have much to worry about across the rest of the map. You can see they are converging onto Lasted once again. Lasted not able to make it out. Evo tries to provide assistance, but he might give up his life. Dark Knight's Dark Knight's Rise is being used, but doesn't matter. Helker still gets killed off long into the grave.
This is ridiculous. They're using Chaku as well as a self-sustaining support, basically.
Yeah.
They're both in the support position. They're both doing their jobs phenomenally, setting it up. And now they want to go for something else. They get caught by the initial second ability of Sicilian, but they are not safe under turret. That range from his first ability is absolutely too long and too short of a cooldown. They can't do much. Now he's going to hold himself, position himself in a way so that they can't get in on to this center.
Turtle resurrecting
And it seems like this is
soon.
deja vu from the first best of 3, where one team just completely loses map control to the other simply because of the macro game, the factor of the macro game. From Orange Esports in this case, is just way better than Axis. But like you said, they're not out of the game yet. 8k gold deficit though, that is what bothers, that is what worries me if I'm Axis Esports.
Yeah, very much so. Not to mention that they're about to hit the 21 to 22k mark, which means that the carry should have an extra item on top of everybody else in the game. And I think Axis at this point, they just have to keep sacrificing. They have to do what Torak did, which is hold off as many turrets as possible. You can't really defend tier 2, but tier 3, the inhibitor turrets are very defendable, and you just have to somehow hold on for that length of game.
And they finally converge onto Mum. A lot of crowd control being brought down. Chaku is there as well. Mum can be able to get out. No, Long finishes him off. Pretty good commitment right there. Axis Esports managing to get all the members out alive. But Long might be staying a bit too long, and he just get instantly assassinated. Lasted trying to get away as well, but Aaron is there. Kills him off. Monster kill. So Orange Esports managing to redeem that fight.
Yeah, 2 for 1 so far, but we know for a fact that Orange Esports is very good at pushing a snowball. A lot of their decision is like, okay, do this rotation, move here, go here next, is coordinated. You can see that they aren't moving randomly, they aren't being sporadic, or even like too hasty with their movements. They are very, I need to be here at this point in time. If I'm not here, I'm going to lose something.
Yeah, and you can see at the same time, this Roger can play greedy. Uses the execute, almost kills off that drop. So luckily for Axis Esports, they still have that front line alive, but Orange Esports, they can get away with playing greedy. When you run a spell like execute on the Roger, who has been given space for the entirety of the game, I think they are not worried about anything, and Evo this time will be grabbed and finished off.
Yeah, this is getting a little ridiculous here because now Axis, they need to do something. They've already used a big ultimate.
Ooh,
But the
Kaiser.
Aurora's going down. Brain is in trouble. He quickly uses the ultimate. He harmonizes out of there. The rest of the team is getting chunked out. The Sicilian does so much damage. My God.
Well, props to Axis Esports. They went for the risk. They took the risk and they defended that inhibitor tower. Kaiser coming in from the back. He was ready to throw his life for that, but
Yeah.
lucky enough for him, he had Flicker and he survived. So Orange Esports not able to convert that into anything other than a turtle for now. So Axis Esports, they still have some room to breathe, but definitely not out of the woods yet.
Yeah, and I think the only person who can like wave clear really safe is only Lossid and Rin. Everybody else is in trouble. Oh no, Silo has already lost his Firaga armor. Kaiser X is going to be the first to go down, but the rest of the team isn't there to respond. Hayabusa is getting a top push on the top side, but Jakbu wants to get more on Evil X as he's walking away. Soon it will run out. No more nature's power nature. He has to get on out of there using his ult to push away. He survives with just a sliver of health.
Really patient play from Evos to survive that. But Kaiser X, slightly unlucky, trying to make something happen, but the team wasn't there to respond. So we're back to square one, back to where we begun, which is Orange Esports having a commanding position. But I think Axis Esports can still defend this. If Kaiser can just get that eject, and him being in front is already a big threat, but Orange Esports this time, if they commit to this push.
Yep, and they already go. Aurora puts out Aurora. Evil X is trying to make something happen. Wall charges out of there, but dies straight away before he can get out. Rin is forced to flicker on out of there. He can't get enough damage down. The only person who's taking it is Silo, and he is so big. They're going to go for the dive. Hayabusa is already with the quad shadow, hitting him with the shurikens as quickly as possible, but that tier 3 is going to go down.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. The Dark Knight Rises was just used a bit too late. Too much patience. It might be the downfall of Axis Esports and Orange Esports now. Pushing for the win long, managing to get away with a slither of health. So it's going to be reset for Orange Esports, but the waves are crashing in. They're just going to hang around and make sure that Axis Esports cannot even set foot out of their base.
Yeah, Orange is just too far ahead at this point. 35k to 22k. That's a 13k gold differential, and there isn't another 5 minutes Axis has. Right now, Orange is knocking on Death's door. They want to eliminate Axis right here, right now, in game 1.
Ultimate from Carmilla has been used, and Axis will see if they can hold this. Instantly, Silo goes in, takes down the Aurora, and this should be it. Orange Esports going for the crystal, pat that KDA left and right. Axis Esports still have 4 members alive. Not able to do any damage. The crystal is protected for now. No minion wave just yet. So Axis Esports, they're being left on the edge of a cliff, and they will be able to play for a bit more. But Orange Esports, they will come back for round 2 to end this thing.
Lord,
Yeah, I don't think
resurrecting
Axis
soon.
has enough to actually contest Lord at this point. And again, even though they did a really good defense, they managed to take out Silo. However, Lossit is always forced to use his ultimate on the wave. He can't use it proactively. He just has to use it defensively to buy time for his team.
So Axis Esports right now, the best course of action is to push out the waves with no inhibitor, but you're looking at both top and mid, and if the Lord goes over to Orange Esports, they can just let the Lord crash in and finish the crystal on its own. So Axis Esports can't really see a clear way for them to come back unless they manage a miracle hold.
Yeah, and right now they're doing the correct thing. Oh, wait, Mom is kind of out of position. Rock is there, but he isn't going to do much. He's already been spotted out. Evil X,
yeah.
they're going to jump right on top of him, forcing him to flicker. Lord has been given over to Orange Esports, and now they were trying to punish. Mom is able to get a 3-man. He hops into Jakbu with his ultimate and is able to survive everything. They're turning it around. Last Insanity coming out of Silo. Those smart missiles ain't going to protect you. Wild Charge from Evil X to bail from the situation, but they need Lost's ultimate like right now. If they want to survive any longer, they're going to lose another tier 3 to Aaron.
That is so unfortunate. Axis Esports, they were looking at that potential kill that can protect that crystal for a bit longer, but they will have to settle for a 4 versus 5. And I think Orange Esports, they're just going to go for the crystal at this point. No need to pat that KDA.
Oh,
those kills will come on its own. Last hit again finished off. Monster kill for the Roger. And Last Insanity will be the final nail in the coffin. Orange Esports, they will take game 1.
That was a very good game 1.